Yo! Hello everybody and welcome back to my Let's Play series of Satisfactory. In the last episode we finally completed our coal generator site and now we have all the necessary resources in order to finally continuing our progress in this game. You also can see that I am playing a little bit with the customizing color option in this game because in the last episode I mentioned in a sentence that I'm kind of tired of the default layout, so I played around a little bit with the colors, but I either ended up everything looking black and white or having the color of something like the Hot Wheels cars. So I've eventually settled on this color scheme because it fits, it's a little bit brighter, it looks a little bit more futuristic, just like the alien planet explorer we are. And apart from the default settings, which are now like this, the foundations are also now a little bit more looking like concrete or metal or something in between. And also the pipes, I try to make them look realistic and something between silver and dark gray. The only thing that I customized other than this color scheme is the coal generator side, because since coal is dark and dirty, I colored all the coal generators in a pure black, as well as the miners for the coal, and the water extractors have a dark blue tone. And that's basically everything I did in between. No, that's not true, because I also found another hard drive somewhere around the first two coal generators that we put up. I originally intended to put them up temporarily, and that is still the case, but I think I will let them be a little while longer because they are not in the way of anything, of any plans, at least for now. Maybe I will use the coal for steel production or something later on, but let's tackle one topic at a time. And I also realized that I did not pay attention to my to-do list in the last episode at all. So consider the coal generators finally done, and I updated the to-do list again, and I promise to do better this episode. So first things first, I already researched the hard drive that I found. And the game still, the game really wants me to take the fine concrete, but still no use. The concrete production is completely fully backed up, and now we have another alternate recipe for the reinforced iron plates called stitched iron plates, which mix in some iron plates with wire. And I think this is more efficient on resources, but I'm not intending to have another recipe for this because I'm fine with two already. But this one looks interesting because the standard recipe for the modular frames only put out 2 per minute with a normal clock speed, but having 5 per minute with only one assembler is quite interesting. And it does require 140 screws per minute, which cannot be covered by Mark II conveyor belts, but it's almost at 100% efficiency possible already. And even if we underclock this a little bit, so we are able to feed in all the necessary items, we still put out more than double of the standard recipe with one assembler, I think. Let's double check. We can produce easily 4 modular frames per minute, other than just getting out 2 out of one assembler. So I will go with this for the moment. And that is our first check mark for the day already. Now, the next one is the modular frame production, because everything else is kind of easy. For example, the awesome sink or completing some other milestones, because now we have basically everything fully backed up, apart from the reinforced iron plates and the smart platings. I don't know if I put them back on again. But we used very many reinforced iron plates in the last episode, so these again have some time to fill up again. But what I do want to complete, and I wanted to show this on the episode, is I want to connect the two power grids that are existing at the moment and are not combined yet, because this one still has the capacity of the 2 coal generators as well as the 7 biomass burners. And although the coal generators are sufficient at the moment, there's a reason why we just built 24 coal generators in the last few hours. So let's connect this, and the capacity is now way over 2000 megawatts. I like to see it. So yeah, we have, let me do some quick math, 180. We have more than 1800 power to spare, although we have to subtract, excuse me, the biomass burners, but still this is, yeah, plenty of megawatts which we can play around with, which we can spend, because why producing power if not spending it? So let's put down the modular frame production, and I already prepared some foundations for this. Oh yeah, I have to apologize for the first time lapse that I did with the foundation setup for the power plant. This was way too fast, and I hope nobody got dizzy, but yeah, I learned from this and I will never do this 10 times speed again, because this section was quite long and I didn't want to show 5 minutes of laying out foundations, so I sped it up very much. But yeah, this was not satisfying at all to watch, and I will never do this again, but the following ones were much more smoothly, in my opinion at least. So let's not continue, but let's start with putting down our modular frames. And yeah, I did some experimenting with this, and this does fit on the iron node and puts out 120 per minute. And now we have to divide this up into 4 different smelters. Now again, this is not completely in line with the foundation grid, but it's barely noticeable, and yeah, in the end, it doesn't even matter. Now it might be that I have to extend the foundations or cut something off, because I've already built it too big, because yeah, I did not test it 100% with the machines laid out, but it should be still up and running at the very end. And each of the smelters get 30, 30, and actually this has to be a Mark II. Now is this correct? 30, 60, 60. Yes, it is. It's not splitted perfectly, but it's still fine and getting the job done. What I also didn't mention in the last episode is that I finally adjusted my hotkey bar and tried to categorize some things, and yeah, now I can switch between laying out logistics, laying out pipes, laying out foundations, and simply, yeah, rotating really quick. I still have the habit to open up the building menu and pulling out logistics and stuff sometimes manually here. But yeah, the more I use it, the more I get used to it, and I think it will eventually be faster with the handling than pulling out the building menu is all the time. Now, although not every smelter needs a single merger, I still do it for the equal look. And yeah, this is basically how I build these streamlines, adding one line of factory or one step of a factory completely together and then dividing it again. And since this is only putting out 120 ingots, since the ratio is 1:1, this is working well. We have to do something different in the further steps because we are putting out, I think, 230 screws with the new recipes. Oh no, I have to, yeah, wait a moment. I have to look up how I am doing this with the new alternate recipe that I just got. Okay, so I did some planning and calculations, and yeah, in fact, I had the right number in my mind because with the alternate recipe 230 screws was correct, and I changed my decision on some things because yeah, I laid out the smelters a little bit more apart from each other, so it looks, yeah, not that squished together, and also not every smelter has a splitter behind it or a merger in front of it, and same will be for the constructors that are going to follow. So let's continue. This is all fixed, yes. Okay, the next thing after the smelters will be the constructors, and these in fact have to go all along this line, because in total, let me do this like this. In total we need 8 of these. And let's start from right to left. So I have something written down in front of me. Yes, we need 45 plates and 90 screws, which are getting crafted into 7.5 reinforced iron plates per minute. And then with the remaining constructors we are producing 140 screws, and this gets put together into 5 frames. So let's start with putting everything together on the right side. And this stuff, oh yeah, I also changed my mind with feeding the whole conveyor belt out on one side and then turning it around and putting it back inside, but now it's again a little bit more centralized with the infeed for the next step, so it gets divided a little bit more equally. And what I had in mind is we need 3 constructors with iron plates, because we cannot cover 45 plates output per minute with 2 of them if we don't use power shard, and I don't really want to waste them for this. But yeah, we will let 2 constructors run at 100% clock speed and underclock the third one to a target output of 5 iron plates per minute. And this is actually fine because due to the layout of the conveyor belts, the resources, the ingots will get divided in half at each splitter. So at the very end the output will be only a fraction, but since we have this underclocked severely, it won't hurt that much, other than if we would have a machine running there at 100% efficiency. Yes, and this is already up and running, and these need 30, 60, I think 70, no, 67.5 ingots per minute, but it's still sufficient with this. But this one has to be a Mark II belt, otherwise this would not feed enough ingots up to these 3 constructors. Correct. And the next one is screws, or the next 2 are screws, because we need 90 of them. And yeah, it's basically irrelevant whether we put one at 100% clock speed and underclock the other one to 80, or put 2 of them to 90 equally. Let's just do it this way. Again, I don't know, has this one... I don't think this one has to be... Oh! Okay, this one has to be a Mark II because it's still feeding in up from this side. So up to the 67.5 for the iron plates we have to add another 12.5, so it's 80 on this side. And 10. So here are remaining 30 iron ingots per minute, so everything can be a Mark 1. Because we need another 140 screws. 50, 50, and underclocked to 40. And this is the constructor setup for our modular frames. Step 2. Now, next up, we merge all our iron plates because we have to feed them in one single input of an assembler. That's done. And we also have to merge these screws. And I just realized we cannot cover 140 output with the Mark 1 belts, Mark 2 belts even. Damn. I still think I will hold on to this setup, and once we are completing more milestones we will unlock Mark 3 belts eventually, and then we can fix this issue. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else we can do, but maybe we can split the input on 2 assemblers. Yeah, maybe this will be the solution until we get better conveyor belts. Because, yeah, even though this will be only a temporary problem, excuse me, I still don't want to have something run below 100% efficiency, because I think, yeah, I don't really know how much time we will need until we unlock the Mark III logistics, because, yeah, I have not planned this out in that detail. But first things first, let's fix up this. This is basically straight. Yeah, nice. Right angles, left and right. So this gets reinforced iron plates for 50 screws and 18 iron plates. I think this has the same issue even. Barely. Okay, let's do some testing. Okay, we can underclock this to 7.2 per minute, with then producing some slightly more iron plates than we need to. But yeah, can't be helped. Maybe I will underclock this a little bit later once this is running smoothly. And then we will see how this ratio turns out with the bolted frame. Because this needs 7.5, but if we toggle this down just a tiny bit, okay, that's already way too much, until the point this gets 7.2 reinforced iron plates, it's still requiring too many screws. Okay, at which point does it only require 120 screws? Somewhere around here. Okay, yeah. Somewhere around here. Okay, let's give me some minutes and I will take the time in order to work this out the best way possible. Okay, I found the solution. Buckle up, this is gonna be amazing. No, just kidding. Yeah, no, but for real, I found the solution to let this run at 100% efficiency, and the solution is yeah, in fact, the same on each side. So what we will do is we will produce I want to have it with the same distance. Let's put this down a little bit further so we have enough space for the logistics. Since we are right in the middle of a desert, we don't really have to worry about space that much. So, the solution to the problem is dividing all the outputs from the constructors into two different assemblers equally. So I changed the underclocking a bit. Now these three constructors producing iron plates, the left and the right one are clocked to 100% and the middle one is underclocked. So basically I switched up the settings of these two, and then I will split up the middle one into the left and right. So this will create two different streams of exactly 22.5 iron plates. And now we set this on the standard recipe actually, because I got this mixed up. I thought I wanted to use the alternate recipe for the high output, but yeah, it's getting a little bit messed up because the increased need of screws is basically the trade-off for the higher output, and the 120 iron ore cannot cover this demand. So we are going with the standard recipe and underclock this to 3.75 and 75% clock speed, which requires 45 screws and the 22.5 iron plates. The 22.5 iron plates get delivered exactly out of these two mergers. Now the screws are also now changed with the underclocking, and both underclocked to 90% instead of having one on 100 and the other one on 80 as originally intended. And yeah, so I really said something wrong at the very start. So it does in fact matter how the clock speed is set, because now we have 4 different streams which we have to feed into these two assemblers, and the ratio is already perfectly laid out. So all that's left is, I think these are yeah, I don't really know how to get this at a right angle. Maybe I will relocate this in order to get a straight line then instead. Maybe it doesn't have to be this far away. So 22.5. And 22.5. Then we add some lifts for the screws, so that we don't have this much of spaghetti conveyor belts. Now I'm still wondering, how do I get right angles on this? Let me just build up the setup so that you get the idea. This is not definitive because I want to have yeah, the most possible clean, or the cleanest possible layout, but this is basically how we are getting the perfect ratios. 7.5 and copy paste, and there we have 7.5 reinforced iron plates per minute. It's all coming together, and here is basically the same. Now the middle one is underclocked, splitting up equally to the left and right, And there we have two streamlines with 90 screws each, and all that's left is putting down two additional assemblers. Let's do it like this and like this. And now all I have to think about, let's connect these already. Now all that I have to think about is how do I get the reinforced iron plates fed in here? Because my intention is to underclock these to 50% again. Which needs 3.75 reinforced iron plates and 70 screws. 70 screws coming out of each and 3.75 reinforced iron plates getting produced in each assembler. My genius, it's almost frightening. So yeah, all that's left to do is to figure out how we have the cleanest possible setup for the logistics. I don't know if I want to leave this, maybe I will come up with a better idea, and then hook up everything to power. So let me do this really quickly and then I will show you the final result. Okay, I think I took care of everything, hooked everything up to power, made sure every machine has a recipe. But I'm not really happy with the logistics layout, but I can't figure out something better and I don't want to bother any further with this production site. I want to progress in the game, and yeah, later on we will get our hands on some cosmetic stuff and can build stuff like logistical flaws and so on. So let's just look at the final results really quick. I just double checked the last record and I noticed that once again I had the issue that I sometimes unintentionally move further away back from the microphone and then the audio quality gets a little bit messed up. I apologize for that. I already noticed that in the last few episodes that I still have to work on this, and I try to focus on this and remind me of it, but yeah, I still have a lot to improve on still. I also here added another line or segment of foundations so I can run around the factory site. And yeah, I will simply show you how the final process is by bringing up the whole factory to life. By the way, this adds around, I don't know, 60 maybe megawatts or 70, because the assemblers are heavily underclocked, but yeah, there's still a lot of room to work with regarding power output. Okay, the smelters are up and running, as always in the first step. And this little conveyor belt should eventually be completely filled. Looks like it. Yeah, but then again, since we have a running start, the smelters on each side has to fill up completely in order to get this running smoothly. Next up are the constructors. And yeah, in order to solve the issues with the conveyor belts, I worked a little bit with lifts here. And I decided to fuse these two lines together again, since they can be handled with Mark II conveyor belt, because there are only 90 screws coming out of these two, and I decided to merge them here, putting them above the iron plates and then dividing it again into the two assemblers. So yeah, it's not the cleanest setup, but has to do, and it works just fine. So yeah, at least now we are eventually seeing our first few modular frames getting produced. Here the screws, I changed nothing aside from building a little bridge with the conveyor lifts, and I also rotated these assemblers a little bit and fused them together. I lead them, or I dragged the conveyor belt below this or underneath this conveyor lift, divide it up again and feed it into each assembler. And since this is a splitter with two outputs, it gets divided up as equally as it's getting merged. Now this is waiting for 3 reinforced iron plates. Maybe I will... no. Let me speed this up by feeding in some plates manually. Oh yeah, I did forget to mention that I found my first purple power slug right next to the hard drive crash site, and I think it was somewhere around here. Oh, there's another one actually. Have to get this as well in between somewhere. And I think I missed the first module. No, I didn't. They should come out any moment. And there they are. What a relief. And I didn't forget to toggle this off the to-do list. Okay, nice. I'm glad we finally completed this from the to-do list. And let's not waste any time and go straight to the next task, which is setting up an awesome sink. Now, I remember that the AI said that the more complex the stuff is that we feed in, the more points we will get out. And let me simply hook this up to power somewhere. Let's do it here. Yes, now it's up to power, and now it shows that it will collect coupons. And we will gain these coupons by feeding something in, and for feeding items in, we will get points. Either from items, and there's also a category from DNA points. So that is also why I sometimes hunted down these animals all around the place, because you gather their remains, you finally will be able to convert these into DNA capsules, and if you feed this in, you are getting quite a big amount of coupons, at least for the early game, because the more stuff you feed in and the more coupons you redeem from the standard points, the more points you will need for the next coupon. So it's basically an incline of a requirement. But the DNA points, I think they stay stable. And yeah, you will get quite a few from only feeding in a little amount of DNA points, but I can showcase that once I crafted the DNA capsules out of the remains that I collected. And I also want to make sure that I don't feed everything in. I am planning to put some smart platings in there, but at the same time I want to make sure that I always have enough to instantly complete phase 2. So I will always leave 500 smart platings in here at least. Let me add these back up again. And now we currently have 100, 200, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Around 760 smart platings. So yeah, let's just pick out 250. Set up another storage container. Connect it with fast line, why not? And feed it in. And then we watch our coupons. Now you can already see we are immediately getting quite a lot of coupons, but as soon as we reach the next one, the standard points demand is rapidly increasing. At the start it was only 1000 points and now it's almost at 5000 per coupons. But still, it's way more coupons than I originally expected. Yeah, but now we are always almost at 10,000 points. You know what? I want to know exactly how many points do we get for one smart plating. Now we need 7840. No. Let's do it that way. Okay, we need 6280. One in. 5760. 6280 minus 5760. 520 points. Okay. I've never actually checked this, but let's do something more basic. Six points. Oh, wow. Okay, I got it. So one smart plating is 100 times the amount of points compared to an iron plate. Okay, understood. Yeah, and this will take another minute to be fed in completely. And then again, we will have quite a lot of tickets already. So let's take a look at the awesome shop. I don't think we ever did this. But yeah, we have not unlocked everything because we need to complete some milestones in order to further unlock stuff that's in here. But let's already take a look in what's interesting. Now we can unlock label signs, display signs. This is actually what we need the quartz stuff for, the silica and crystal quartz or quartz crystal. And yeah, I will also set up a little factory for this, but this is very basic. We simply have to extract the raw quartz with some miners and then construct them in constructors either into quartz crystal or into silica, so it's pretty straightforward. I don't need any personal storage skins, but I do want this. I want the conveyor lift holes for the foundations, so we can lead stuff beneath the floors and build up floors above each other, build logistical floors and hide the conveyor belts. This would be amazing. I want the pipeline stuff, especially the clean pipeline. I will change maybe these at the coal generator side once I have these, because yeah, the normal pipes have an indicator. Let me show. So if you build a pipe that's long enough, you will always have this indicator in between, which will not move any which will not move at all when the pipe does not contain anything. That's completely empty, so it's closed basically. But as soon as you have something running in the pipe or flowing, then this will start to move and indicate, that's why it's called indicator, that something is in the pipe and it's moving as well. And also you will see a color scheme in between these metal grips. So, and this will, yeah, show you what's inside. And the coal generators, you have seen in the last episode that the pipe water scheme was blue in between these. And this was because it contained or contains water. But a clean pipe with no indicator looks way better in my opinion. And yeah, we will get this. It's not that big of a deal at the moment, but it's only one coupon, so yeah, why not? And this is also very great once we build more complex architecture stuff, so that we don't always have to put down a power pole in order to connect cables, but we can attach these to either walls and also ceilings. And it's not only, it's not saying that it's a package, but this contains also a double wall outlet, so we can, if we build a structure with more than one room, we can simply transport power through these double wall outlets, and it will look very nice and clean. We also have all kinds of foundation stuff. We have ramps, double ramps. Yeah, if you watch the last episode and see my conveyor bus leading the coal from the nodes to the production side, generator side, from the underside, the ramps look very, very, how do I say it? Rudimental, excuse me. And the double ramps are basically, looking cleaner, better. And there's all kinds of stuff where you can get more advanced with architecture as well. Half foundations, quarter pipes, and so on and so forth. All different kinds of walls with conveyor holes, inverted ramps for walls, tilted walls, gates, and then we have also walls with glass and stuff, and door walls. So yeah, this is basically all the stuff that we want to have in order to go crazy with buildings. Same goes for here. You have roofs, beams. This is actually, I never used this in my first file, but I saw this quite frequently in other videos, that this is very handy for messing up with the foundation snap. So you can you will be able to not only attach foundations right next to each other, but you can also basically attach them in between some edges if necessary. And then you have also walkways which you can lead over conveyor belts, for example, or pipelines, so that you don't have to consider too much space. So yeah, all kinds of different stuff here. Not everything is available yet. And I think I will see in between this and the next episode what I want to have from the shop. First, we already have 19 coupons. Let me pick these up really quick. And since this doesn't have a permanent input, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Nice. Still more than enough left. This is getting backed up eventually as well. And how are the rotors looking? Also good. Nice, nice. I won't toggle off the awesome sync just yet, because I also want to feed in the DNA points, and I will take a look at the bases, whether or not this is already possible. Nice, already 50 frames. Let's just take them all, so we have them. And finally head back to the bases. I also have to check what milestones we can complete now. The question is not whether or not we can complete something, but whether or not we cannot complete something. If there's anything still remaining after feeding everything in that we built up for I don't know how many hours now. Okay, I will pick up the protein that I already crafted. The spitter remains and the hawk remains. and go to alien organisms. So the spitter remains I already researched, but I have never put in a hawk research. So let's do something else than hard drives since a very long time. Now we still have to find hatchers and stingers. So I saw both of them while especially wandering around these forest and vegetation. But yeah, I didn't want to skip this at the very start and do not show it. Yeah. So next up, we have no further use for these remains other than converting them into protein. And with that we can in fact already research the next step. And bioorganic properties unlocked us the alien DNA's capsule. Sorry, have to speak. And I want 6 inventory slots right now. So let me just pick up some cable. And do we have some left here? Oh, what a coincidence. We do. Although I want to feed in some DNA into the awesome sink, this is way more important. Now I don't need an expanded tool belt just yet. So let me see, can I craft alien DNA capsules? Yes I can. 6 still, so let's do this. And put them into the awesome sink and see how many tickets we can get out of these as well. Let's just do it here. Oh, this is already completely full. Hook this up. Can I feed this in per hand? No, I can't. So let me simply put up a storage container. Will this work? No. Not building on foundations. Will this work? It will. Nice. Okay, 6 DNA capsules going in. Which gave us 4 more coupons. And we only need 1 more for another one. Okay, nice. And now we finally fully took care of the awesome sink. Okay. Now, before I finally take a look at the milestones, let's see what we can also do in the MAM. We can do the power slugs. So let me pick up all the slugs I have, in fact, and research this. This actually does not require a slug, but items. But now if I build an object scanner, we can scan for slugs and go hunt them down if we need more power shards. Next up is the recipe to craft yellow slugs. I already collected 6 of them. To craft power slugs, yellow power slugs into power shards with rotors and cables. Okay, and last but not least, we need, oh wow, we need 25 modular frames, but since we set up the factory for that, this should not bother too much. And our first purple slug going down the drain, which gives us not only the recipe to craft power slugs into power shards. By the way, one blue slug gives us 1 power shard, a yellow one 2 shards, and the purple one can be crafted into 5 power shards at once. So yeah, these are the best ones, but At the same time, we completed our first research tree, which is nice. What else? Quartz, nothing changed. Nutritions, I haven't found these yet, but during my explorations, I picked up all the caterium that I found. Sometimes you found these little rocks at the bottom, at the ground, and I in fact found, I think, 3 of them in total, so we have 84 caterium right now. Let's research it, and now we can scan it as well. And in fact, I do know that there should be a resource or a caterium node very close by. "500 meters still. I thought it was closer. But well. And we still have enough caterium ore in order to research the next thing, which is ingots. And now we can craft caterium ore into caterium ingots in just normal, regular smelters. And if we have enough of them, we can research them in order to unlock Quickwire, which will give us access to further to an improved version of power poles and power transportation, as well as, I think, yeah, the Mark II wall outlets of the Awesome Shop, which is not necessary for now, but the Mark II power poles are in fact very useful because, yeah, as you already saw a few times, I wanted to hook up a cable but was not able to because it says right there you can't connect more lines to this connection, so the Mark II power pole can hook up to 7 lines at once, and it only requires quick wire instead of normal wire from copper. So yeah, this is very, very useful as well as very, very easy. And yeah, our quick wire is not that difficult to produce either, so I might eventually or very soon set up a factory for this as well. But I think for now this is everything we can do in the MAM. No more hard drives, no more alien stuff. Yes, okay. Let me just craft the power shards really quick, so I finally know directly how many I have available in case I am planning with them. Yeah, as you can see, it says right there the ratio, how many power shards you get out of the different slugs. And we have 25 power shards available. Let me put the coupons in there as well. And now we can also toggle off the MAM. Nice. The progression today is insane. Okay, next up we have the milestones. And let's check really quick what we can do. I think we can basically complete tier 3 today because we have so much backed up items, so many backed up items. The only question is, do we have enough modular frames? We do. The only thing is I might have to pick up some rotors. I think, yeah, I will. But I can send this to outer space and drive with a truck. Yes, I will do this. Select this milestone really quick. I think I need some more rods. Just give me 1 second. I hope it took enough. Isn't this enough? No, it's not. Damn it. Okay, give me 1 more second, please. feed this into the spaceport and launch.
Milestone reached. Long-range transportation, as well as the construction of outposts, is now encouraged. Vehicle stations have built-in functionality to refuel and restock or collect parts.
Oh yeah, we also got another 3 inventory slots, which is awesome. Okay, we have a truck station and a tractor. We can build this straight away. I forgot how cute this is. Yes, this is our first vehicle of the game. And this actually puts you in third person mode, and you can also see your little avatar sitting right on it. And it also has some storage space. 2, 4, 6, 8, 16, 24, 25 slots, which you can fill up and drive more stuff around with you. How much? I have 2. Yes, I picked up biofuel in preparation. So you have to feed this in manually. And off we go. Now, of course, biofuel is not the best fuel for this stuff, for vehicles or automotives, however you want to call it in this game. There will be normal fuel at a later stage of the game, but it's still fun to have it and to drive around, especially in the desert. When you start in the grasslands or in the forest even, then of course you have a lot of vegetation in the area and you have to drive a lot more careful. Once we get into, wilder environment, you will start to notice what I mean if you don't already know. But in the desert, you're basically free to roam wherever you want. I have enough reinforced iron plates, finally. Couldn't say that in the last episode. Let's just take 500 of these. And let's go back. How many? I think I don't need more than 700 copper sheets. But let's check how many modular frames we have. I think the spaceport is back already, because the I didn't pay attention if the timer ran out or it's just not showing because I don't have anything selected for the next milestone. Another 68. And right back to the base as we go. And although I had at least 2 future projects in my mind already, now I think we will unlock steel production as well, which is very important in order to progress even further in tier 4 and, for example, unlock Mark III logistics. So yeah, I once again have to consider what I want to go after next. I need more wires, and I actually want to try. I just recently saw a video on how to complete multiple milestones at once. I've never did this, but let's try. As I remember correctly, you only have to feed in the requested items and then go for the next one and feed this in. Perfect. I don't think we can do any of these since we don't have steel production up and running, but we can complete tier 3. We fed this in, 0, 0, 0, 4 times 0 is still 0. Let's select this. And now we should be able to launch the pod 2 times right after each other, after another.
Milestone reached. Steel production unlocked. Foundry grants access to new, simple steel parts. An additional project part can now be constructed. Progress to the next phase is now possible.
There it goes, and it should already have loaded the milestone cost for the next one, so we can simply click launch again.
Milestone reached. R&D inflated your pocket dimension, added an additional hand equipment slot, and have provided an improved Xeno Zapper with increased strength and range.
Laughing out loud. Okay. Yes, we definitely want to do this next, just because of this. The Miner Mark II will be a game changer, but so will the blueprints be, and so I want everything of this right now, but unfortunately we can't, so let's do the advanced steel production first. And in order to do that, we have to set up a steel production. Yeah, I really have to think about what to do next, because of course I want to progress further, but it will come in very handy eventually to go after Caterium or to go after quartz for the cosmetics. So yeah, I'm undecided at the moment, but I will work something out in between episodes. That's gonna be it from my side. So thank you very much again for watching. We progressed a lot today, and I'm already looking forward to what's gonna come next, although I have not decided completely what I will do now, but I will have worked something out when I start the next episode. So if you have any feedback, as always, I would be appreciating to hear what you think. What do you think I could do better? What do you think I already do good? There's the spaceport coming back. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next episode.